Hey everyone, so in this video I'm going to show you how you can customize a bubble map in Looker Studio. So bubble map is one of the many different Google Maps styles that's available in Looker Studio, and today we're going to be looking at how we can customize it. So at the moment, if we open up our data chart setup tab showing the data, we can see that the location field is country. Now we can change this to various other settings, so we can put region, and now if we go here we can see there's Ontario, Quebec, Rhode Island, and we can also change it to town or city. So now we go in and we see there's Toronto, there's New Haven, there's Newton, there's Boston, right? So we can customize the location field. There's a couple of other things we can also customize. So starting with this is the tooltip. So right now it's set to show town city on the tooltip. So if we zoom in to here, we can see the tooltip is showing Miami. And what we can do is change the tooltip to show region. So now when we hover over Miami, it just says Florida. And if we change it to country, it'll say United States. So let's look at the color and the size. So right now these are just showing, these bubbles are just all the same size, so they're not really showing us much with the data. So let's change it, and we want to say size is going to be determined by total users. Now each of these cities is slightly bigger, although if we switch it to country, then we can see the difference in size. So US versus Canada, for example. There's two ways we can use color in a bubble map. The first is by changing the dimension to be a color. So in that case, let's say we want to have country as our color, and let's change the location field to city, town, city. And now when we take a look, we see that Canada is pink and the US is blue. And we can take this a step further, and we can also have color by region. So now each of the states and provinces in the US and Canada has a different color. So there's all the cities in Ontario, there's the cities in New York, there's the cities in Quebec. And another way we can use color is by adding a second color metric. So we've got the size being determined by total users, and now what we could add in as a second metric is bounce rate. So now we see that Barbersville, Kentucky has a bounce rate of 100%, so it's dark blue. And other places have Ocean City has a bounce rate of 0%, so it's light blue. So that's how we can use two metrics in our data. Now there's a lot of other customization we can do if we click on the Style tab. And what this allows us to do, quite importantly, is change the kind of map we have. So there's an option to use vector graphics, which I think pretty much just improves performance. And there's two different map types. So there's map and satellite. So within map, there's silver, there's standard, and there's dark. There's also the option to edit the map file, but I won't get into that today. So currently it's the report theme of dark, but there's also satellite. And within the map options, you'll see there's settings where we can increase the visibility of different things. So roads, landmarks, labels. So if we zoom into Europe, for example, around Paris, if we want to get rid of roads, we can decrease these till only some of the major roads are visible, or we can get rid of them entirely. And the same, that's true with, if we go in here, that's going to be true with landmarks. Some of those disappear, and if you use labels, and if you remove all the labels, then we get a very different picture. And layer type, well, this is changing the Google Maps to the different types. We won't get into that. There's also the number of bubbles. We can increase that to, say, 1,000,000, which might be useful if we had a bigger data set. And of course we can change the actual color of the dots. So right now the max color is blue, so we can change that to red. Or we could we can change the mid color to something else like purple, and the min color to, let's say, orange. So there's some customization you can do with the color. So yeah, that's about sums it up for most of the customization that you might need to do with a bubble map. Hope this video was useful to you.